Hey there TBD fam, it's your boy Chris here, and I'm making this video because it's been requested by some newer members of the community. It's kind of just a little impromptu guide for those of you that are about to start your journeys into Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on the PS5 and the Xbox. And hey, if you're picking up the game on PC or Switch, this guide will hopefully help you on there too. These are some key tips for things that I think you should have done going into Sunbreak to help make your experience as smooth as possible and to help you have as much fun as possible as well whilst you're going in. I'll probably give you some tips of things to consider as you're progressing through the game as well. So, without further ado, let's get into those tips. Okay, so first things first here, you're going to want to make sure you have all of these decorations that are available to you at high rank. You're going to want to focus on things like your elemental attack. You're going to want to focus on getting all of these core skills for your specific weapons. So attack expert, getting a full set of these is important. If you're like gun lance, artillery's good. Things like shield magazine for gun lances and charge blades. Crit elements good. Challengers, Furers, handicrafts, so on and so forth. You're going to want to make sure you get all of these going into Sunbreak. But by far the most important of all, of course, 3 tenderizers, 3 crit boosts. 90% of builds are going to be utilizing these, and these are going to help you a lot in the early game. So yeah, number one, get your decorations before you go into Sunbreak. If you don't have these, get them now. And whilst you're at the smithy, something else to consider is getting yourself a variety of different weapons for your chosen class. So let's say hypothetically you're a dual blades main. You're going to want to make sure that you've got, going into Sunbreak, a water weapon, a thunder weapon, a fire weapon, a dragon weapon, and an ice weapon. Some notable things that can help you going into Sunbreak, these will be dual blades that end up being good. You can get our Mudron for water, for example. You can get the Kushala for ice, the Valstrax for dragon, and then for fire you can get the Wraths, and for thunder you can get the Narwa. All of these dual blades end up being quite good on your journey throughout the game. But element matching isn't exclusive to dual blades, of course. Lots of weapons benefit from element matching. Even things like Greatsword now have movesets that are benefit quite a lot from element-centric gameplay. So whereas before you may have just solely focused on raw gameplay, you now might want to consider getting some elemental Greatswords as well. So on and so forth. This is kind of the same for every weapon. Obviously, the bow guns and the bow also benefit a lot from element. Charge blade benefits a lot too. So make sure you're getting element weapons. That is something that you definitely want to do. This ain't no world. Raw can only get you so far. Alright, hopefully that helps. As well, as you're going through the game, something you're going to want to consider is make sure you are upgrading your armor as you go. Don't be afraid to forge new pieces and upgrade armor as you go through. Just to put it in perspective, one of the best armor pieces at high rank that you can get that will serve you well all the way throughout the game are the ingot greaves. If you didn't use these, then I don't know why you weren't using them. They were really good. Attack boost 2, crit boost 2 with a small slot. But hey, look, you get to master rank, you're going to unlock the same one pretty early on, right? So let's say you get to master rank, you're still using those ingot high rank greaves. Well, once you unlock them here, 2 slots, same skills. So what you're going to want to look for early on are armor pieces that have efficient things for the weapon that you're using. As you can see here, guard 3, load shells, pretty good for gun lance, right? Here you've got an attack boost 2 with a level 4 slot and a 1 slot. Keep your eye out for master rank armor pieces that are straight upgrades to the pieces that you're using in high rank, because very early on in the game you're going to get armor pieces that are just straight up better. So craft them, make them, don't be afraid to use those armor spheres, get them upgraded. That's going to make your early game experience and even your mid game to late game experience substantially more comfortable. Now whilst we're here at the smithy, small tip, you really want to consider going for offensive skills when you hit master rank. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, but what about my defense boost? What about my divine blessing? Well, master rank is, as the name suggests, for masters. It is a lot harder than what you're going to be used to experiencing in high rank. And if you're going in too defensively, monsters are going to take you a very long time to take down. They do have substantially more health. So what you're going to want to be doing is prioritizing those attack skills for each of your weapons respectively. Now, this isn't going to be a full guide on what armors and skills are good for each and every individual weapon on early game. If you do have questions about that though, definitely come check me out on stream Monday to Friday, 7 PM onwards GMT. I give full-on guides. I'm more than happy to help you making builds if you're struggling to, you know, get the skills that are good for your specific armor sets. So yeah, but definitely make sure you are looking into offensive skills over defensive skills at master rank, because the offensive skills are going to take you a lot further. You're going to kill monsters faster. Your farm's going to be more efficient. And hey, the faster you kill the monster, the less time you give it to kill you. So hopefully that advice helps you. Start playing aggressively, start playing offensively. And hey, if you die a little bit whilst you're practicing, don't worry about it. It's okay, that's all part of the learning process. It's ultimately going to make you a better player. Bow users, guys, I have some good and some bad news for you. The good news is there is a mighty bow decoration. The bad news is it is post-game content. You are going to have to get through the whole game without mighty bow decoration. Now, here's the thing. You probably are like, some of you might even be like, what's mighty bow? Now, if you don't have this and you're a bow user, there is kind of only one way to get it. You need to do Barioth and Rajang, and you need to collect the coins. You're going to get them from those two quests, and you're going to come over here and you're going to get this. Now, if you are a bow user, you are going to have to use this armor piece throughout the game. Now, don't worry, bow is exceptionally strong, but you'll find it here. Once you've got access to it, there it is. So once you've done those quests, you can see you need Ace Hunter coins, Hunter King coins, Rajang coins, and Barioth coins. You get them from those quests. So make sure you get those coins, guys, and get your Mighty Bow Feather. And don't worry, there is a decoration, but you're going to have to push through to endgame to unlock it. That's just a special final note for all my bow players out there. Hopefully that helps you. Now, one of the most underutilized things in Sunbreak is the buddy skills system. Your cats and dogs are substantially more effective than you've probably been led to believe throughout high rank, and that is even more so true in Sunbreak. Now, if you're coming into this game and you have not hired yourself up a substantial amount of buddies, both Palicos and Palamutes, you are gonna want to do that. And you're going to want to be leveling them up and training them as early on in Sunbreak as you can here at the dojo. And there's a very good reason for this. As you level up your buddies, they're going to get skills. And you are going to, in Sunbreak, be able to teach your buddies all of the skills that you've cumulatively learned. So what happens is, as you level your buddies up to level 35 and higher, depending on the required level of the skill, you're going to unlock that for every other buddy. And once you hit Sunbreak and you start doing some quests and progressing, eventually, when you've done the quest, you'll be able to teach your buddies any skill that they might need. I'm going to kind of give you an example of some skills you might want to consider learning and getting if you want to be optimally efficient, certainly when you're out on the quest. So we're going to have a look here at... oh my goodness, let's see if I can find him. I've got so many. So we're going to have a look here at Sir Reginald. Now you can see his skills here on the right. If we're going for like a heavy offensive Palico, attack up. We've got melee centric. So something you want to note here is melee attacks are really good in the current meta. They have been since TU3. And you guys are getting the game at TU3. So you have... anything like that that gives you something that lets your Palico or Palamute focus on melee, it's going to be good. So yeah, you can get those. Note to you guys, status weapons got nerfed in TU3 by 80%. So you're much better off just forgetting about the status on your Palicos, Palamutes. Focus on elements. So if you're going to fight a monster that's weak to ice, get your Palamute, Palico, an ice weapon, so on and so forth for each one of the elements. But those are some good skills to consider for your Palico. Some of their support moves, if we go and have a look again at Sir Reginald, these are some good ones to have. Power Drum, Shock Tripper, Furious Rousing Roar, fantastic. You can go Healing Bubble or Go Fight Win if you need the stamina. Another one that's really going to be useful, especially now with your new Silkbind skills, is Summon Endemic Life. This is brilliant. Power Drum's brilliant. If you need the health, you've got Vase of Vitality. You're also going to unlock secret support moves. You'll get these as you're going throughout the game. There are some really good ones here. Notably, the Healing Clover Bat is fantastic, certainly when you hit endgame and you start getting some more damage skills that drain your health. The Lottery Box is probably the one that you're going to be going for early on, though, so give that a try. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but hey, you might like it. It might help you quite a bit. As for the dogs, if we go to our Palamutes, so here's an example of skills you really want to be going for on the dogs. All of the skills in that equipped skills section are good, but the essential ones are as follows. You're going to want melee centric, attack up large, element attack up, and attack up small. Make sure you are element matching for your dogs. It's very important. It can be the difference between them doing 20 damage and up to 150 damage per hit. It is absolutely massive how much damage these things can do at master rank. So if you're struggling on your hunts and you're not utilizing elements and you don't have these skills, attack up large, so on and so forth, make sure you get them. Counter is the optional one. You can put on crit up large, pro parry, artful dodger, or realistically any other skill that you like the sound of. You can go for here. I would stay away from range centric at the moment though, because it was nerfed, and again status is nerfed by 80%, so bear that in mind, guys. But yeah, long story short, hire lots of Palicos, Palamutes, get all the skills unlocked, and then yeah, customize them. Do not sleep on this, guys. Really important at master rank. Right, whilst we are here, I might as well take the time to remind you guys, or perhaps even inform you guys, if you have not gotten all 3 of these submarines before you go into master rank, make sure you go and do the respective quests to unlock them. Your farm is going to be immensely important in master rank. Staying on top of the materials is going to be tantamount to your success. You are going to want to have all 3 of these farms, and you are going to want to be focusing and keeping them up to date on all of the essential items that you might need. Things including god bugs, mandragoras, bitter bugs, etc., etc. If you're really struggling, make sure you're making lots of max potions and ancient potions. And the materials here, you can put those in your inventory and bring them along with you to help. So make sure you're stocking up on this. Make sure you're keeping this under control and managing it. And of course, make sure you've upgraded it before you've gone into master rank. Something else to consider is if you need meal tickets, you can buy meat from here. So you can buy it in, up to stacks of 99 or even more. You can cook it 99 at a time. And then you can use that to get yourself meal tickets just by cooking it. That's going to help you a lot in Sunbreak because the meals themselves have all been buffed. But we'll get onto that a little bit later. Something else as well to consider, rare finds. Make sure you're always checking this in between quests, guys. You can see up the top, in the top right, there's my points. Spend them, guys. Spend them. Things to note that you want to be buying from here, certainly early on. Dual Blades, Bowmains, Dash Juices are great. All melee users. You're probably not going to have the slots anymore to be running Speed Sharpening, but don't worry. You don't need to run Speed Sharpening. Great Wetfish, if you're using these, it can replace your your whetstone, if you didn't know, and it lets you sharpen your weapon instantly. So it's a quick sharpen for free. So make sure you're always buying these. I would also recommend buying Dusts of Life. They are incredibly good at master rank, especially if you're playing in multiplayer. And you can also buy Kelby Horns for making your ancient potions, among other things. But yeah, long story short, you want to be getting these, guys. Spend your points on them. And hey, you can get some of the essential stuff here if you don't want to farm it, or if you need it in a pinch, you can get some things here, some basic materials. Thunderbugs for your traps, for example. Very, very good. And nets as well. So if you need pitfall traps and you need shock traps and you don't have time to put these in the farm, you can always grab these to help you capture those pesky monsters. Okay, now I briefly mentioned food skills in that last clip, and something you're really going to want to think about here is getting those meal tickets by cooking up the meat that we just bought. So you can do this. If you didn't know about this, this is a really quick way of getting tickets, and tickets are super important, way more so at Master Rank, and I'm going to show you why. So once you've cooked it, you can come here, you can chat to this little cat fella once the autosaves are blooming done. Oh, bloody hell, hurry up, there we go. Right. Grab your dango tickets, you can come down in here, and what you're going to want to do is go to eat your meal, and you're going to be buying your meal. Now, here's the thing. Beforehand, your skills probably looked a little bit something like this. And you would, if you knew about meal tickets, you'd use your meal tickets, and it'd be like, okay, there's your activation. Now, if you look down the side now on your dango, it says level 2 on everything. Well, if you're pressing your middle mouse button now, or your middle controller button, you'll notice it now says level 4, level 3, level 1. You can get a boosted top skill and a boosted middle skill. And now if you read the effects, they'll be slightly different. So you'll see here booster changes. Attack and defense are moderately increased for a short period of time after eating, once per quest. But now if we eat for booster on the middle, it says attack and defense are moderately increased for a short period of time after eating once per quest. Now if we put it on the bottom, attack and defense are slightly increased for a short period of time after eating. And some skills get extra bonuses the higher up you have them. Perfect example for bow users, marksman. If you look at it on the top level, prevents you from getting knocked on your butt, reduces damage taken. Dango marksman increases the power of shots and arrows. Now, here's the thing. Look at that activation chance, 35%, guys. Now, this is where those meal tickets are going to come in handy. Make sure you're stocking up on them, because when you're using them, if we press triangle, see it says in use, those go up to 100% in the middle, and obviously you don't quite get 100% on the top, but it will increase your chances. Really important. Make sure you're getting your meal tickets at Master Rank. Food skills are more important than ever. Some good food skills to make note of. If you're a ranger, things like temper, marksman are great. If you are a gun lance or a sticky user, bombardier is essential. General melee builds, you should probably always be running booster. If you don't want to die in one shot, make sure you're getting Moxie. This is going to save your life once per quest. And hey, if you just want Divine Blessing and you don't want to sock it in your build, just get Defender. This is essentially Divine Blessing. It's fantastic. So that way you don't have to sock it for defensive skills as much, guys. You can eat for defensive skills. Of course, there are lots of other good food skills as well, but those are just some ones that I would like to point out that you might want to take note of if you're not sure what it is that you should be eating. Alright, now, for most of you, you probably already knew about this, but just in case you didn't, here's a reminder. You're going to be getting a lot of new skills in Sunbreak, and it may seem overwhelming at times. But fear not. Capcom prepared us with this, the training area. You can always come here. It's going to be your best friend, certainly early on, to practice all of the new moves that you're going to be getting. Now, switch skills are the new feature in Sunbreak. And I'm sure you're already aware of this if you've been watching gameplay. You know that you can get different skills on each scroll. Now, there are loads of mechanics the further you get into the game that kind of bounce off of switching between these two or not switching at all. There are actually skills that gain benefits by just staying on a singular scroll. So learning what skills you want to have on what scroll is going to be very, very important. There are skills later on where certain scrolls give you element bonuses and certain scrolls give you attack bonuses, certain scrolls give you defense bonuses, and certain scrolls give you element resistances. So learning what skills you want to have on what scrolls is going to be really important. It's going to be good for you to get used to early on. And whilst it will seem overwhelming, you can always practice here. So don't be afraid to just take a little bit of time out of your hunts every now and again. Come by here, practice your skills, get a feel for it. Especially if you're kind of struggling on a hunt, you might be like, okay, right, I need to come here and practice. You can get a feel for those new skills. and, you know, unleash the damage, so to speak. So yeah, practice, 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 guys. Again, certainly once you get to endgame in Master Rank, a lot of you are going to start experiencing issues and trouble. Maybe you get stuck. There is always this place to come and practice your timings and get used to perhaps using a new skill. Don't be afraid to try the new skills. Many of them are really, really strong, really, really good on your desired weapons. And hey, again, you can always come and stop by my stream. I play every single weapon. I've got thousands of hunts in each weapon. I've got a lot of experience. If you need some direct advice specifically on something and you're not sure exactly how you want to be doing it, or what skills you want to be going for and how you want to be playing it, come and ask me live. Yeah, 7 p.m. GMT onwards, guys. And let's get on to the next segment. Okay, I'm sure many of you already know about this, but just in case you didn't, your friend in Elgato, Senri the Mailman, if you haven't done so already, you can come to him, come to your add-on content, and make sure you're claiming these packs, guys, because money is going to be even more important in Master Rank than it was in High Rank. You're going to need a lot of it, and these packs, when you start the game, you can come and claim them. They give you eggs, and those eggs you can sell for a fairly substantial amount of money. And obviously you can sell them straight at the shop. If you're not sure how to find them, just come to the shop, chat with your fella here, go to your item box, scroll through, scroll through, scroll through, and they are somewhere. Bloody hell, if I can find them. Here they are, up the top. You can sell these. Each one of these sells for 100,000. So if you're ever struggling for money, claim your Senri the Mailman bonuses, and you can get millions from right here. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. Now, this probably goes without saying for most of you, but just in case it doesn't, something that's going to be immensely important for you at Master Rank, if you haven't got them already, get all of your camps unlocked for all of the maps. Why? Because if you pause the game like that, you can zip around. I'm sure there is somebody watching this right now that probably doesn't know about this. Again, hopefully that's been some helpful information for you. But you can unlock all these camps. There's usually between 2 to 3 on every map. Get them, unlock them. Being able to zip around quickly, it's well worth it. There are also on the maps, when you hit Master Rank, these little things called Buddy Recon. So when you start early on in Master Rank, you're going to want to have a little look around the map. And, have a little explore. Don't be afraid to explore areas you've been to before. You will find these little flag posts. They look like this, as you can see in the center of the screen. When you find them, you will be able to unlock them. Once you've unlocked them, you can post a buddy there. Do you remember earlier when I was saying get lots and lots of buddies? This ties into this. You can post a buddy there permanently and then use it as a little shortcut once per quest. So for example, Rajang likes to spawn up here sometimes. If you unlock this, you can go straight from the camp, boom, down here, I'm in combat immediately. So get those buddy scouting locations. They're incredibly useful. Get them early on and use them. You can use those at the buddy center as well. You'll be able to find them there. Right, we're back at the merchant again, and I just wanted to make a quick note whilst we're here about melding. Now, some of you have probably got really frustrated not being able to get the charms that you wanted to be able to get in base game. Now, don't worry, Master Rank has its own set of melding that you'll unlock going through the game. But some of you have probably also seen that this actually gets upgraded in later updates. Now, you guys on the console are going to get TU3, so you'll have access to Aurora, Reincarnation, and Anima melding. Now, the question I've been asked quite a bit recently is, do I want to be using this even though better melding is coming? And I'd say yes. I'd say you still want to use this because a lot of the charms you can get from this are going to be better than your melding from high rank. And then obviously as you progress, you're going to get much better melding in subsequent updates. So to answer a lot of the community's kind of queries for those of you coming into TU3, yes, this is going to be good. Going forward from this point, I'm probably going to talk about a couple of things that might be a little bit spoilerish. So if you don't want to have a couple of things spoiled for you in the quests, I'm sure some of you don't, definitely skip towards the end of the video. Or if you want to end the video here, thank you for watching. We're going to just go on to a few small minor spoilers about some stuff that you might want to consider doing once you enter into the end game. Right, so for those of you that have stuck around and want a tip or two about endgame progression in Monster Hunter Sunbreak, here you go. So there's going to be a couple of spoilers here, so like I said, this is your last chance to exit. When you hit the end game, you're going to get there at Master Rank 8, okay? The final quest in the base game is going to be this fella here. Alright, now, a couple of things to note. His armor is really good at the start of the end game. I would definitely recommend consider getting, certainly if you're a melee user or ranged users alike, his legs and gauntlets are fantastic. They have a really good skill on it. I can go into more depth on that if you want to come ask me about builds on stream. But needless to say, this guy's got some good stuff that's even valid all the way into TU5. You can still use some of his armor pieces, and they're great. But you're gonna beat this guy. Now, something to note, and this is something that I was brought up to me very recently, and it's a good question. People are asking, does your master rank carry over? Let's say you do all of the quests in TU5, but you don't beat this fella here, Geismagorm. Does the master rank XP that I've gained carry over? The answer is no. Not after you beat Geismagorm. Now, you'll be MR8 when you beat this guy, and you will hit another walled quest at MR10. Now, that MR10 quest is going to be an Anomaly quest. Now, Anomaly is your end game system. And once you hit Anomaly, you basically get all of the monsters to fight again, but they are substantially tougher. This is your end of end game. This is where you're going to want to start maxing your builds. Now, the first Anomaly monster you're going to come across outside of the story, because technically it's a different monster, but I won't spoil that for you. But the first one you're going to come across is your humble Azuros. You're going to beat him at MR10, and then you unlock your master rank. So what you might want to consider doing for endgame is get to the endgame first, and then go back and do your quests, if you want to make all of the points count towards your master rank, which of course goes up to MR999. Now, Anomaly rank goes a lot further. As you can see, there are numerous tiers. We just got a new tier in the most recent update, which I haven't actually done these quests yet. Now, these are all base quests. I'm not going to show you what they all are, because again, I don't want to spoil things too much for you. I'm going to leave some of that for discovery. But as you do these quests, you will unlock Anomaly investigations. Okay? Now, Anomaly investigations are going to be unique investigations. You can see here I've got a Kezu at level 300. The higher the level, the tougher it is. This is just like the system from Monster Hunter World and Iceborne with the investigations that you had. So you've got a proper investigation endgame system. Monsters can spawn on essentially any map, including arenas once TU5 comes out. So it's really, really good. Now, you guys are going to be able to get to AR 200 on the console when it launches, and that's going to take you a long time to get. And you're going to be unlocking monsters, decorations, and everything as you go. Now, I've actually done a full guide on my channel, which I'll probably try and link in the description, as to how you can level this up substantially quicker. But just a quick note, you can see there it says Silver Rathalos bonus 1.3 times. That means if I do a Silver Rathalos, I will get a 1.3 times modifier on my Anomaly level. Now, Anomaly level levels up separately from your Hunter rank and your Master rank, so the only way to level it up is by doing Anomaly investigations and quests. You also get Anomaly Coins, which tie into the end game as well, and you're going to be able to spend over here at Bahari, and you can exchange them for all kinds of useful loot. So for those of you that were worried, hey, hang on a minute, I can't meld rare orbs and plates and everything, don't worry. They got you covered, okay? You can get that with the Anomaly system. So now you'll be able to fight the monsters that you want to fight and meld the items that you want to meld. So melding is back. Now, If you do the modifier, you also get double coins. Every time you get the coins to proc, you'll see here it says my reward's going to be 600. The higher level you are, the more coins you get. The more coins you get, obviously some things are very expensive. Note to all of you, you can see here, some of these end game items are very, very pricey. And yeah, those getting those coins is going to be a big help. So push through the anomaly, get to higher levels. Obviously doing anomaly quests also levels up your master rank and hunter rank, but you can only level it up by doing the anomaly quests. So definitely get on with those. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, but this is one of the reasons why I said earlier in the video you're going to want to focus on offensive builds, because let me tell you, when you get to the end game, some of these monsters are going to have close to 400,000 health. Yes, you heard me correctly. To put that in perspective, Fatalis in Iceborne had around 90,000 health. So imagine some of these monsters, they are one-shotting you, and they've got 4 times the health of Fatalis. But don't worry, you can get much stronger builds in this game than you could get in Iceborne, relatively. So, providing you are using my tips, and if you need help with builds, like I said, stop by the stream, twitch.tv/twasbydesign. Come and ask me if you're struggling. I will give you a build for your weapon that will get the job done. That much I promise you. Indeed. Okay, well, those were some general tips for those of you looking to venture into Sunbreak when it comes out. Well, I guess later on today or tomorrow for you. I really do wish you all the best of luck. Have fun. It's a really good game. I've already put 2,000 hours into it. I'm sorry I couldn't go into more detail in this guide. I know it's a very general guide. I would love to do an in-depth guide for every single weapon for you, but I would be here for the next 10 hours. So if you do want some in-depth knowledge, stop by my stream, twitch.tv/twasbydesign. I am live 8 hours, Monday to Friday. You can find me, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I'm kind of sort of getting ready with all of my game knowledge to share with those of you that are coming into the game. Please, if you've got any questions about this video, or if I said something that was incorrect, again, this is, like I said, very impromptu. Let me know down in the comments, and I will obviously correct myself. I'll put like some kind of appendices in the description or something. Again, I'm not particularly good at making these videos, but hopefully some of this helps you guys. Certainly some of you that perhaps are returning to the game from quite a long time. But yeah, don't stress. Take your time. Upgrade your armor. Upgrade your weapons. You're going to get good weapons nice and early on, guys. So basically anything you get is going to be better than what you had at high rank when it comes to armor and weapons. So don't be afraid to experiment a little bit. Try out the new moves. Hey, try out new weapons. Some weapons that perhaps you didn't like in base game, they're going to have entirely new movesets now, so you might really enjoy them. And if you're wondering where some of the new moves are, just keep pushing through the story. MR4, I believe it is, you unlock a bunch of extra stuff. It's something like that. So anyway, just keep going through. You'll be fine. And element match. Element match. I can't say that enough. That's going to benefit a lot of you. Unless you're like greatsword, you're going to want to element match. Some sticking points in the story include Espinas, but you fight an ice monster, which I shan't spoil for you here, just before you get to that. So again, get that weapon, go into the next fight, and then get that weapon and go into the next fight. Typically speaking, they will give you the monsters with effective weapons to help you tackle the next fight in the game. So if you apply that knowledge, that can really help you get through. And again, if you have any more questions, you know what to do. Come ask me, guys. But yeah, have yourselves a lovely jubbly day, guys. I've been your host, Chris. Hopefully I've helped you. Fingers crossed it all goes well and you have a nice smooth transition into Sunbreak, but don't get disheartened if you're finding it tough at first. It's called Master Rank for a reason, guys. Alright, I will hopefully see you over on the stream. Take care and good luck.